crest, through the trough, and up the other side, cutting the distance between them in half. Their holograms sputtered, a result of distance from the ship. Any farther, and they would dissolve altogether. He and Willa, along with several other high school kids now aboard the Disney Dream, had once modeled for the roles of Disney Host Interactive, also known among Disney Imagineers as daylight hologram imaging. Teenage park hosts, holograms that guided families around the Disney parks. And now, the cruise ships. Undisclosed at the time, some would say unknown, was a side effect that allowed the DHIs to cross over in their sleep, becoming their hologram replicas. Finn and his friends often found themselves inside a Disney park while their bodies, their human selves, slept at home. They'd quickly discovered that their holograms had been engineered by Disney's Imagineers to do battle with certain Disney villains, the Overtakers, whose one desire was to take over the parks and ruin them. The OTs, as the Kingdom Keepers referred to the Overtakers, dreamed of a darker experience for park guests than the one Walt Disney had envisioned. That same dark force, in the form of Maleficent, the evil queen, and Cruella de Vil, was currently aboard the Dream, and intent on turning it into the Nightmare. This time, the Overtakers had stolen a historic journal once belonging to the Disney Imagineers, or perhaps even Walt himself. The Overtakers had infiltrated the ship and smuggled Tia Dalma and Chernabog, a mysterious and monstrous creature from Fantasia, aboard at Castaway Cay. The addition of a witch doctor and the most evil of Walt Disney's creations didn't bode well. Where Maleficent went, trouble followed. Which accounted for the man-eating hyenas that had forced Finn and Willa to jump overboard in the first place, and had put them in their current predicament. When a hologram's projection failed, it fell into what the Keepers called DHI shadow. The result was invisibility, which in certain instances could be a good thing. Not so much when you were nearly drowning, and the only hope for survival was steaming away at 18 knots. "Your hand!" Finn called, reaching for Willa. "Before we're gone!" Then, when she didn't react instantly, "Come on!" Again, he amazed himself by how strongly he swam. A Florida boy, Finn was no stranger to water, but since when could he swim like a lifeguard? Willa's hologram had lost its density and was porous, like sand spread loosely over a floor. It had lost its third dimension as well. She looked like a pixelated, digitally enlarged photograph. The final stage before invisibility. "Reach!" Finn shouted. His voice sounded like a bad radio signal, scratchy and popping with static. Desperate, he plunged his face into the sea and called out, "Starfish flies! Starfish cries!" A phrase he'd been given to summon King Triton, who'd saved Finn once before. Striking out blindly in the water, Finn felt his hands catch Willa's. Finn squeezed hard, then walked his fingers up to Willa's forearms so that they held each other's wrists, a stronger fireman's grip. "You okay?" he said, but it came out, "Eh?" Finn turned his back to Willa and pulled her hands around his neck so that she rode on his back like a cape. She held tight. He felt her soft cheek pressed against his neck. He swam hard, kicking and pulling through the sea, more like a machine than a man. Finn supposed this crazy strength had something to do with his exposure to a massive jolt of electricity just before he'd jumped. He'd been in the ship's engine room, a world away from here. But he didn't much care about the source of his power, only its efficacy. Finn's progress was admirable, his churned wake joining the wide white strip of aerated seawater thrown out by the ship's propeller. The water sparkled and fizzed like a freshly poured soda. Viewed from overhead, Finn and his passenger were invisible, not even a speck in a strip of sea paved flat by the passing of 130,000 tons of steel. Willa said, or tried to. No. Finn didn't bother trying to answer, saving his energy for his breaststroke. If he could get close enough to the Dream for his hands to start flashing, however faintly, his voice would likely return. But that